The shocking reason you feel empty even with success. Have you ever sat quietly after achieving something big and thought to yourself, why do I still feel so empty? Why do I feel lost even though I have everything I once prayed for? Why is happiness so short lived after success? If you're silently nodding right now, you're not alone. In fact, I've personally lived this cycle multiple times. I worked hard, built businesses, reached financial milestones, gained recognition. From the outside, everything looked perfect. People even said, "You're so lucky, you've got it all." And yet, deep down, a hollow space remained. Something was missing. But what? That's the shocking truth we're going to uncover today. The shocking truth: success doesn't guarantee fulfillment. We live in a world that sells us a dangerous illusion. Once you have enough money, status, and comfort, you'll finally be happy. But the human soul doesn't work like that. I learned this painfully after one particular milestone in my life. I had just closed a major business deal. It was something I had visualized for years. After signing, I felt a surge of pride, excitement, and even power. But that feeling lasted barely a week. Very quickly, my mind whispered, "What's next? Is this it? Why am I not feeling as fulfilled as I thought I would?" It was like standing at the top of a mountain and realizing it wasn't as tall or meaningful as you imagined. Success fills the pocket, but purpose fills the soul. The classic story: King Solomon's embarrassing confession. History is filled with people who had everything and still felt empty. Take King Solomon, often described as the richest, wisest man who ever lived. He built magnificent palaces, owned vast lands, and had unparalleled wealth and power. But despite all this, in the book of Ecclesiastes, he wrote, "I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind." Even at the highest peak of worldly success, he recognized a profound truth: external abundance does not automatically lead to internal peace. Why even celebrities feel empty? We don't have to look far today. Celebrities with millions of followers fall into depression. Billionaires, despite their wealth, feel isolated and lonely. Successful entrepreneurs burn out, some even losing their families in the process. Look at the tragic story of Anthony Bourdain, a world renowned chef and traveler. He had fame, wealth, adventure, yet he ended his own life. Or Robin Williams, who brought laughter to millions but silently battled emptiness and depression. My own struggle with emptiness. In my own journey, I recall vividly buying my first luxury car, a dream since my early 20s. The moment I drove it home, I felt like I had made it. But that high was painfully short lived. Within days, it became just another car. The truth hit me hard. I was chasing symbols of success, not real fulfillment. It's not that these things are bad. The problem arises when we expect them to satisfy deeper emotional and spiritual needs. The science behind why success feels empty. Let's understand the brain's role in all this. One, dopamine adaptation. When we achieve something, dopamine, the feel good neurotransmitter, spikes. But the brain adapts quickly. What once excited us becomes normal. We need bigger achievements to feel the same high. This is why people keep upgrading cars, houses, careers, thinking, then I'll be happy. Two, the hedonic treadmill, a psychological phenomenon where we return to a baseline level of happiness after positive or negative events. We think external changes will bring permanent happiness, but they rarely do. Three, lack of purpose activation. Studies show that parts of the brain linked to meaning and purpose light up when we serve others, not when we accumulate more for ourselves. Without purpose, the mind wanders into anxiety, emptiness, and even depression. In short, the brain is designed to adapt, not to stay permanently satisfied with material wins. The spiritual dimension of emptiness. Beyond the brain, there's something even deeper. Many spiritual teachers call this emptiness the soul's hunger. It's your inner self whispering, I want more than comfort. I want growth, connection, and transcendence. The Indian mystic Sadhguru often says, what you accumulate can never be you. The more you have, the more insecure you become about losing it. True fulfillment lies in what can never be taken from you: your growth, your peace, your compassion, your contribution. 10 actionable steps to fill the void. Now, let's get extremely practical. 1. Reconnect with purpose. Why am I doing this? Every morning I reflect on my why. When I focus on serving others, not just myself, my emptiness shrinks. Practice daily gratitude. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for every single morning, even simple things: my breath, a loving family, a good cup of tea. This rewires my brain toward abundance. 3. Simplify your life. I decluttered both my home and my schedule. Fewer distractions create more space for peace, less stuff, less noise, more clarity. 4. Serve others regularly. Whether it's mentoring, charity, or simply listening, service dissolves emptiness. The act of giving connects us to something greater. Create internal goals. Instead of obsessing over external markers like income or followers, I focus on internal growth, becoming more patient, building discipline, deepening wisdom. Internal victories bring lasting peace. 6. Limit social media comparison. Social media is toxic for fulfillment. We compare our raw life to others' highlight reels. I set strict limits on my scrolling habits. 7. Prioritize relationships. Meaningful relationships nourish the heart. I schedule time weekly for friends, family, and real conversations. 8. Develop spiritual practices. Every morning, I meditate for 20 minutes. Stillness reconnects me with my essence, beyond titles or achievements. 9. Cultivate presence. I consciously train my mind to stay in the present. When eating, I savor each bite. When walking, I feel each step. Presence dissolves the urge for more. 10. Accept impermanence. I remind myself often, this too shall pass. Neither success nor failure lasts forever. Acceptance brings deep peace. The root cause of emptiness. Here's the deepest truth I've discovered: the emptiness you feel isn't a problem, it's a signal. It's your soul saying, stop chasing distractions, return home to your inner self, reconnect with meaning. You don't need another house, car, or promotion. You need alignment. You need connection with yourself, with others, with something greater. The final story: the beggar on the box. Let me leave you with a powerful parable told by Eckhart Tolle. A beggar sat on a box by the side of the road for years. One day, a stranger asked him, have you ever looked inside the box? The beggar replied, no, why would I? It's just an old box. The stranger urged him to open it. Inside, the beggar found gold. For years, he sat on treasure, never realizing fulfillment was already within him. We are that beggar. We search everywhere for fulfillment, not realizing it was always inside us. The powerful summary: if you feel empty even after achieving success, you're not broken, you're awakening. You're discovering that true peace comes not from the outside, but from within. When you reconnect with purpose, simplify your life, serve others, nurture relationships, and align with your highest self, the emptiness dissolves. True success isn't about having more, it's about needing less. If this message spoke to you, if you're ready to stop chasing and start living fully, then join this journey. Hit that subscribe button. Every week, we dive deep into topics like this: inner peace, spiritual awakening, mindset mastery, and living a life of true purpose. Remember, the next level of your life is not outside you, it's waiting inside.